Friends, this is Gangadhar, your mathematics teacher, and we are discussing ratios. See, in the last two classes we discussed about the basic idea of ratios along with few examples. And now in this class, see the concept related to the proportions we are going to discuss, right? Just look there on the board. I mentioned you few ideas related to the proportions here. See, basically proportion means what? Proportion means equality of two ratios. Okay, if we have any two ratios and if those two ratios are equal, then we say those four elements are said to be in proportion. See, for example, if you look there, A by B is equals to C by D. A by B is a ratio, C by D is a ratio. If it happens like that, then we say that these A, B, C, D are in proportion. And in the same case, see, we have a chance to multiply these two by cross multiplication. We will write that A into D is equals to BC. And in this A, B, C, D, this A and this D, okay, first and the last numbers are mentioned as extremes, whereas these middle numbers B and C are mentioned as means of the proportion. So AD are the extremes of the proportion, BC are the means of the proportion. And this is a notation for four elements if they are in proportion. A by B is just nothing but A is to B. C by D is just nothing but C is to D. If they are in proportion, then we use this symbol to mention that these four elements are in proportion. Related to the proportion, you need to memorize these five ideas. And among this A, B, C, D, this last fourth element D is mentioned as fourth proportion of A, B, C. Okay, just see, related to proportions, just it is enough to know the concept, right? So usually you don't face problems related to the proportions in exams as well as in practice sheets also, right? First of all, you just know what is a proportion, that's it. Proportion is basically equality of two ratios. If two ratios are equal, then we will use these different terminology related to the proportion. Coming to an example, for example, 2 by 3 is equals to, 2 by 3 is a ratio. It is equals to, so there are many ratios which are equals to 2 by 3. For suppose if I say 14 by 21, is it clear? 2 by 3 is equals to 14 by 21. Since 2 by 3 is equals to 14 by 21, then there is a chance to say that 2, 3, 14 and 21 are in proportion like this. And now in the same case, 2 into 21 is 42, 3 into 14 is again 42. That means AD is equals to BC is also satisfied. And among this 2, 3, 14, 21, this last element 21 is mentioned as fourth proportion of the first three elements 2, 3 and 14. So you need to know the terms related to the proportion. That's enough, okay? Then the second case related to that. If these mean elements B and C are same, well, I am repeating, if these mean elements B and C are same, then the proportions, the equality looks like this. A by B is equals to B by C. And if A by B is equals to B by C, then there are only three elements instead of four, A, B, C, and we say that those A, B, C are in continued proportion. And the representation is just like as above. A is to B and B is to C, they are equal. A is to B, B is to C. And see, if A by B is equals to B by C, if you do cross multiplication, the product of these two is equals to the product of these two, then AC is equals to B square is one under observation. And A, B, C are just three elements, and A, B, C, C is the third element, and that C is mentioned as third proportion, whereas B, which is common, which is same for the two ratios, is mentioned as mean proportion or second proportion. The terms you need to know, okay? If A by B is equals to B by C, C is what? Third proportion. B is what? Second proportion. If four elements are different, then D is what? Fourth proportion. Like that you need to memorize, okay? For example, if you go with an example here, see, for suppose if I have that, I may say anything, okay? 1 by 5 is equals to 5 by 25. Is there anything wrong? 1 by 5 is clearly 5 by 21 if you check, okay? Then in this case we say that 1, 5, 25 are in continued proportion because the middle element 5 is same. If they say it has a continued proportion, you need to treat that B for 2 times, the middle element for 2 times, okay? 1, 5 and 25 are in continued proportion. and in this case this 25 is the third proportion and this 5 is the mean proportion, and see AC is equals to B square. 5 square is equals to 1 into 25 also happens here. Just have a look related to the proportion and then mean proportion. Okay. Just look there on the board. Now in 11th point we are going to discuss about the direct proportion and indirect proportion. Okay. See this direct proportion, indirect proportion, maybe you learnt as unitary method also. Unitary method or this direct and indirect proportion concepts both are similar actually. Okay. See what is a direct proportion and what is indirect proportion. That's what we are going to discuss with a regular examples. Okay. Not with the numericals, with some examples. See direct proportion in the sense, if two quantities are in if you say two quantities are in direct proportion, or see if value of one quantity rises, then automatically along with this quantity value of the other also rises. Then in this case we say those two are in direct proportion. Is it clear? What I am going to tell you is, if I spend more money for an article, I will get more articles. Is it right? Okay. See, for example, if I spend more money on an item to buy, I will get more quantity. If I spend less amount, I will get less quantity. That is the sense, as per the amount of spending, we are getting the quantity of that particular item. Right? That is the sense, amount of spending is directly proportional to the quantity of the item what we are getting. Okay. That's what I am going to tell you is, for example, cost of anything. For example, I am discussing here, okay, cost of anything, okay, cost of an object is directly proportional to the, okay, expenditure. You may say it as expenditure or amount spending, okay. See, since they are directly proportional, you may usually use this symbol, but no need to memorize all these symbols, okay. What I am going to tell you is, cost of an object is directly proportional to the expenditure. Since these two are directly proportional, then we have a chance to write the ratio between, see, two different cost of an object is directly proportional to the expenditure. Okay. If the cost rises, see what will happen? You need to think about it. For example, what I am going to tell you is, if the cost of one apple is 5 rupees, cost of an apple, see, as per our example, we need to mention not cost of the object. Okay. Yeah. Expenditure of an object on an object, okay, expenditure on an object is directly proportional to the quantity of object. Is it right? Yeah. See, what I am going to tell you is, if cost of one apple is 5 rupees, you may say 10 rupees more. Cost of one apple is equals to, say, some 30 rupees. Cost of one apple is 30 rupees. Okay. See, if I am spending some 90 rupees, how many apples I will get? If I am spending 90 rupees, I will get 3 apples. Is it right? Cost of one apple is 30 rupees. If I spend 90 rupees, I will get 3 apples. For example, if I spend, you may say, some 3000 rupees, how many apples I will get? If I spend 3000 rupees on the apples, since cost of one apple is 30 rupees, I will get 100 apples. Is it right? It is basically of unitary method, okay? Since cost of one apple is 30 rupees, the cost of 3 apples is 90 rupees, as well as cost of 100 apples is 3000 rupees. Since this expenditure of an object and the quantity of the object are directly proportional, if I raise the amount, automatically the quantity also rises. Then we say, in this case, those two values are in direct proportion. In this case, if you write this 90 by 3000, okay, as well as here 3 by 100. See, this 3 by 100 is in the simplest form, but whereas if you simplify here, see 0 0 will get cancelled, 3 3s if you cancel, again you will get the same 3 by 100. So, since these two are in direct proportion, the ratio between these two values is equals to the ratio between these two values also. So, at the end what I am going to tell you is, if two items are in directly proportion, then the ratio between first two, okay, you may say them as A1, A2 is equals to the ratio between the other two, like B1, B2. What I am going to tell you is, if A is directly proportional to B, then two different values of A1 and A2 and corresponding values of B1 and B2, then those two ratios are equal, like A1 by A2 is equals to B1 by B2, and this is related to the direct proportion. Whereas coming to the indirect proportion, if the value of one quantity rises, then the value of other quantity decreases. Okay, see, those two acts in an opposite manner. If one value increases, other value decreases. If one value decreases, other value increases. Okay, for example, if you think about the distance, speed and time like that. Yeah, for example, see, if I, in 1 hour of time, for example, in 1 hour of time, see, distance, speed and time, if you think about that, if I move, you may say, some 40 kilometers per hour. See, I am going to think about that. If I move in 40 kilometers per hour speed, okay, if my speed is 40 kilometers per hour, then what is the distance covered in 2 hours? Okay, you may say fix some time. Okay, if you fix the time like 2 hours, if my speed is like 40 kilometers per hour, then what is my distance covered by me is just nothing but 40 kilometers per hour. In the sense, in 1 hour I am covering 40 kilometers. So in 2 hours I may cover 80 kilometers. Okay. For example, if I move in some 200 with a speed of some 50 kilometers per hour. If my speed is like 50 kilometers per hour, then how much distance I cover in 2 hours? Then automatically in 1 hour 50 kilometers it is saying, then in 2 hours it is 100 kilometers. And now if you say, see, that is the distance and this is the speed. What to say that distance and speed? See, the distance and speed both are again directly proportional. If you say 40 by 50 is equals to 80 by 100 and this is equals to 4 by 5. This is also 4 by 5. That in the sense, this is the speed and these are the distances. Speed and distance are again indirectly proportional. Okay, but we are thinking about the indirect proportion concept, so you need to concentrate on speed and time. Okay, for example, if I fix a distance of some 300 kilometers, I need to cover a distance of 300 kilometers. You just think about it. I think you all know about the formula that distance is equals to speed into time. Keeping in mind, I am going to generate this example. If distance is equals to some 300 kilometers, if my speed is some 30 kilometers per hour, then what is the time required for me? See, as per the speed is 30 kilometers, distance is 300. Okay, distance is 300, speed is 30, then it takes how much? 10 hours of time to cover that particular distance. For example, if my speed is, you may say, some 60 kilometers per hour, then see, speed is 60, distance is 300, then you will get time as 5 hours. Okay, then in this case, what we need to say? Then in this case, if you take this ratio, 30 by 60, and this ratio is 10 by 5, and this 30 by 60 is 1 by 2, this 10 by 5 is 2. That in the sense, these two ratios are reciprocals to one another. This is 1 by 2 and that is 2. Why? Because if the distance is fixed, if I move with more speed, automatically I need less amount of time to cover the distance. Because if I am going with more and more speed, then automatically the time required is very less. If I am moving very slow, then automatically it needs more time. That in the sense, if the speed is less, it needs more time. If the speed is more, it needs less time. Then in this case, what we have a chance to say that since the speed and time are inversely proportional or in indirect proportion, then in this case we write that S1 by S2 is equals to T2 by T1. The corresponding value for S1 is T1 and the corresponding value for S2 is T2, but S1 by S2 is equals to T2 by T1. Okay, as an example, if you say, if A comma B are in indirect proportion, then we have to mention that A1 by A2 is equals to B2 by B1. But if A comma B are in direct proportion, then we need to say that A1 by A2 is equals to B1 by B2. Okay, just it is a basic concept related to the direct proportion and indirect proportion. When coming to the examples, by analyzing the given situation, automatically we are able to solve the problem without using this concept also. Okay, just by using unitary method, automatically we can solve the problems. Okay, but as a concept, after this proportion, you need to know this direct proportion and indirect proportion. Just have a look at the board.